What is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap. This is Mash Those Buttons podcast dedicated to the FGC. I am your host, Crash. With me as per usual, I've got my assist A and my assist Y. I've got Static G in the building and Meza, of course. Welcome, gents. Another week. How y'all doing?
Alive and well.
Here.
Upside down, right side up.
We're here. Yeah, we're here somewhat.
Yeah, wall splatted.
You're wall splatted. You've been upside down. You've been all over the place. You've been on different axes today. But it's live, man. It's here. This is the 5th of June, 2023. It's, of course, Double Tap's a podcast dedicated to everything and anything in the fighting game community. And it's been a blurry 72 hours, gentlemen. It's been a blurry 72 hours. I mean, you know, the great things happened. It finally happened. The Fugees did a reunion concert over the weekend. No, they did a reunion concert, man. Fugees did a reunion concert. Across the Spider-Verse came out, which I still gotta go see.
Same.
Oh yeah, and like Street Fighter 6 came out or some other shit like that. Like, it's like,
what's that?
That's like whatever. But yes, it's happened, man. We're here. It's live. We're going to be covering that today. Today's episode is going to be a lot of Street Fighter. We do have some other things to get into as well. It's not the only thing that happened, but I can understand if it got a little foreshadowed over, like I said, the past 72 hours. My left hand specifically has been cramping a little bit, the amount of buttons I've been pressing over the past 72 hours. A full show. I don't know how you guys are, but standing up and playing on hitbox is a very weird feeling. Very weird feeling.
Oh, you've been playing at your desk or something?
Yeah, and also my hitbox, you know, my little bento box is tiny, so it's like I mean, it fits perfectly fine for my hands. It's still very weird to stand up and play.
I'm just not a fan of the little small boxes. If I'm gonna get a box, I'm gonna get a box.
I just put that thing on me, man, so I'm ready. It's just a concealed carry. I just always got it. Just I'm always strapped, ready to go, no matter what in the streets. So that's what I prefer. I can't always be lugging around a big old joystick. I don't know if anyone else out there is rocking out with a bento snapbox micro XL, which is like a weird way of saying medium. I don't know what's up with the naming scheme. That's like Microsoft levels of like odd, but hey, it is what it is. They still sell out. But let's jump into it, man. Street Fighter 6 is out. It came out. Some people were playing it the day before. Shout outs to Japan VPNs. Let's go. You know, private internet access. They're not sponsoring this, but I can confirm it did work for me. So I was definitely playing that around like 8 p.m. or something like that for a couple hours before it dropped here for our servers.
It's a bit about to be like, hey, get him.
Capcom right there. That's the guy. Get him right there. Yeah, I get reported for that. That was legitimate. It was a legitimate copy. I just happened to pay for a service that I forgot I was paying for and get me into the game a little earlier. But it doesn't matter, man. I'm not winning any tournaments. I'm just out here having fun, pressing some buttons. So let's get into it, man. So off the rip, mains. Let's get to the mains. Who have we landed on? Let's start with you, Static.
Well, I'm pretty much the same as that I've always been with. So since, like, you know, always saying it was Chun-Li, always saying Jamie, but then I was always like, Kimberly's a possibility. Then I was always like, Manon, though. She's like Laura. And I've been sticking with those four. But lately, it's been a lot of... it's hard to say Manon because that's all I played the night it came out. Like, the entire morning till like 5 a.m. I used her. And then I was like, the next day I was like, man, I really like Kimberly. And then the next day I was like, man, I'm really feeling Chun. And then Jamie's like taking the back burner, so I'm like, I don't know. I can't like do things. I can't get through fireballs. So finally, I was like, let's go. Picking Kimberly. And then Craig beat me up yesterday.
Yeah, Craig will do that.
Yeah, but like, honestly, I went to a local and I used Chun-Li against a Honda player. Like, I wasn't playing that at all. At all. Just throwing fireballs. Because Honda, if you don't know already, has been headbutting through everything. EX headbutting through your fireballs. Headbutting and then drive impacting. Headbutting and then headbutting again. And then maybe drive impacting into your headbutt.
Hurry up. That's all we're seeing. That's all we're hearing. What about you?
That's my mains.
That's your mains right now? What about you, Meza?
I'm probably gonna go back to Chun-Li, but right now I've just been playing a lot of Cammy, seeing the differences. I like her. I think she's cool. I like the new playstyle that she has. I know people will say it's still Cammy. She just dive kicks and all the. Look, she's a little bit more technical now. I definitely think she struggles against certain characters and matchups, but I definitely think she still kind of mauls people, but at the expense of her bar. So, do I think that I'm gonna probably stick with Cammy just in general, playing for fun? Maybe. I mean, Chun-Li seems gutted a little bit, but still Chun-Li, so it's not like she's bad. I like to have fun and I like to maul people and mix, so it's more likely probably gonna stick with Cammy.
Okay, I like how we ended up on this weird combination between all three of us. I was jury, right, throughout all of the beta phase is who I rocked, because it was only fucking 8 characters. They weren't giving us anyone else. And I just don't go for Shodos off the rip. I'm like, that's so bland, bro. If I want to play Shodos, that's like, I don't need to be back in 1992. It's okay. Like, it's all right. I went the next step, which was Maul Rushdown. So I ended up with Cammy instead.
Makes sense.
I ended up in the Cammy camp. Only because I did play the character quite a bit in 4, and I did play her a little bit in 5. I mean, the characters I ended up playing in 5 were just like your Cody's, and then basically Lucia and Jury. So Jury was the only thing I could be connected to. That previous character, which isn't even the same in this game. But Cammy ended up being the go-to character. I'm definitely gonna stick with her. I just want to have fun. Characters that feel good. She checks off a lot of boxes. Crouching shorts to standing, crouching lights to standing light connections. She's got mix. It's dirty. Yes, she has to use meter, but like everything else about her is pretty good. She can deal with fireballs with her spin knuckle. She's got a great mix with her hooligan throw. Now that actually has a mix. It's actually a high-low grab, and yeah, she's fun. She's fun. She's got good buttons still. It's just she's a little execution heavy, which is also kind of a thing for me. It's right. My check boxes are some sort of stance or option, right? So I got that with the hooligan throw, right? So I got my mix, right? That's my go-to that my self-reflection that I figured out on this show. But then add to boot the execution, a character that kind of makes you have to do better. Is good. She's very the game is footsie based, but she is very, very footsie based. Like you have to really, really play that game with some of these characters. Yeah. And
I don't know, man. I actually feel like she struggles in a lot of the footsies games against some of these stronger characters, such as Luke and stuff like that. It's like some of the moves just don't. I'll be real. Some of her moves, because priority is out of the window, it feels like she's kind of a little less menacing, but she's still strong. I mean, it's not like that changes.
Yeah, exactly. I do it for the personality that she has. I just want to be very clear. Just massive personality. That she just pulls from behind. It's really good. She's 49. She looks great. She looks great for 49.
I thought she was like 35 or something, 36.
She looks great for 49.
I was going to say, Crash Tag, a lot of the mains that you have are very attractive.
Shoot. Yeah, man. I just love massive, just girthy personality. That's just what I like. Yeah, exactly. So those are our mains. I'd love to hear what you guys, of course, the listeners, what your mains are, what you've landed on now that we actually have all these other characters to enjoy. And on that note, really is how have you guys felt with now finally us having the full cast to kind of sit down with and actually fight against too, and actually get to experience. What are you thinking, Gabe?
So I'm feeling the same way as I felt prior to. All these crack players, whoever they are, wherever they are falling. And I'm saying that because the entire internet is completely complaining about all the new characters. I predicted it. I was like, no, people are going to complain about Marissa. People are going to complain about Manon, the command grab damage. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
35%
is wild for
you see people's
level
health,
5.
Yeah, people's health just disappears. Just flat out gone. Anyway, but Lily's a potential one. Putting the game in the hands of where was it? Was there any tech that we were seeing, even from betas? Putting the game in actual people's hands nowadays is had even like the demo already was looking at stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah.
from the demo, we weren't even really getting an idea of things. Now that the game is fully like out, fleshed out, and ready for combat, it's like we're seeing who's fundamentally doing well. Like for instance, at the lab, we saw a gentleman, Gizmo,
Gizmo.
take the game. He took it with Ken. And every time I talk to him about him playing Guilty Gear, he goes, "Yeah, I'm just playing." I'm literally like, "Yo, what are you practicing?" He's like, "Dog, I'm just playing."
Just
I'm like,
hanging out.
"Oh, okay, yeah." So I'm just like, all it takes is just competent players, and then just I don't know, drive rushing here and there, drive impact here and there,
Yeah,
a
why
DP
not?
here and there. Yeah,
Good buttons to press out there to kind of get a punish counter or some massive damage on cash out, because there's just such a different dynamic to the systems, right? Like your meter with EX is not tied. We talked about this a while ago, but it really does lead to more explosive rounds, which, the cool thing is, aside from a couple characters, right, everyone has the same health, right? Which is inadvertently also given buffs to certain characters, right? Like your Camis or your Chun-Li's and such that have historically had lower health, but it was the trade-off for them being super fast or having incredible buttons and such, right? Maybe not as high damage output. Like, the game is super explosive. Any character, and it's still not even week 1 yet, right? We're at day 4. It's still very much unexplored, but the Twitter tech is amazing. The Twitch feed is wild. Like, sitting right now at the time of this recording, Street Fighter 6 is, I believe, in fifth place in all of Twitch right now in terms of categories, right underneath League of Legends by only 9,000 viewers on a regular ass Monday like this. And we have a bunch of different personalities doing it right now.
This is during the same release as like
Diablo 4.
4.
Yeah, or
Diablo 4.
is it the actual 4 or is it the beta? I think it's the actual 4, right? It's the actual 4?
It's interesting. Looks like the same damn game. That's all I have to say. But better graphics. That's it. But that's just my opinion. I think it's very interesting to see. We don't see fighting games do this well. Obviously, I just found out today that they did hit their 1 million mark.
Yeah, 1 million units sold. 1 million units. I thought they said 1 million fighters. Which one is that? Millions units or is units? Incredible.
That's amazing in its own. Just because we really haven't seen that. I don't even know. Have we seen that? Like, off the first week? Not even?
We'll say Sam Show.
I don't know 100%, but I just know that's 10% of what their goal is right now in terms of the lifetime of this game. Remember, they were like, we want to sell 10 mil. This 1 mil alone has already recouped their production costs. I'm sure the rest is going to be for paying out Capcom Cup, among other things they're supporting for years.
I don't even know if that's compensating for the fact that they don't really always so when they show units, generally, like at least when you worked at GameStop, I'm pretty sure people who experience when you work at GameStop, they only show you sales in hard copies, right? So they don't show you sales in downloadable content, right?
Yeah.
So I think the most interesting part is going to be when we see the cost of how much people have invested into the costumes, the colors, because the costumes are only $2 a piece, or like $1.99 or $1 or so, roughly around there. That's really, really interesting because they've been known to do like these packages for like $27.99 for like 4 or 5 costumes. But they did a pretty good job, I think, on. This is one of the better releases of fighting games.
Oh,
right? Because it's not really, in my eyes, Street Fighter 6 is not a fighting game. It is a game.
Just a full-ass game.
Full game. That's very hard to come by.
Yeah, those are some hard facts as to why Street Fighter 6 is sticking out, and there's a big reason for that, and we're gonna tell you guys as soon as we hit this break. So we'll be right back after this, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna continue on with the Street Fighter 6 review news extravaganza that we got going on here. So stay tuned. All right, we're back. Back to the game, right? It's not just the fighting game. Like you said earlier, Meza, this is like a full-ass release game, a lot of content. You could be grinding out in Battle Hub all you want. You can hit the arcade. You can hit the story, training room, whatever you like, right? Like, the standard fighting game stuff there. But then, let's talk World Tour. World Tour has been released. You know, the big component that has a lot of people just, you know, for one, giving you a reason to grind, or rather to do it, is you were talking about like the costumes, right, in the DLC that they had. You know, they have the alternate costumes that you can get completely for free. You just have to play World Tour, right, and kind of go through a lot of the missions and actually do a lot of the content there in order for you to unlock them.
Well, they definitely give you different routes, because you don't even have to just play only World Tour. You can play just online. But I mean, there's so much accessible playable modes that you can play Extreme Battle, you can play all these other Teams Battle, all these other things, and just earn points. And if you played in the beta, you earn multitudes of points. All you have to do is just go to the right place to, you know, cash out. So I think I think they really made it less fighting game and more of an experience. It's just weird, because fighting games don't do that as often. I mean, we talk about NRS kind of doing that, trying to make an experience, but they were kind of on the cusp of that. I think this was right. I think Capcom kind of nailed it, and hopefully we'll see stuff like Mortal Kombat Project L follow suit with that Tekken as well, because I mean, I would love to see Tekken Force come back, because that was just really cool.
That's a throwback. Holy shit. Yeah, this could be the paradigm shift, right? To kind of become it's sad to say, it's like the new norm, right? Like the new norm is like, hey, imagine a full video game, you know, you get your money's worth. Okay, for the regular game, I'm not saying the ultimate edition and such that some people shelled out an extra $50-$60 for, and you don't really get anything for right now, unfortunately. I know Street Fighter 6 got a lot of heat for that in early, you know, if you saw some of those reviews, they got like review bombed it on Steam because of the whole situation that like, hey, I paid the $100 for the ultimate, and like literally like there's nothing to get from it at this point, that Capcom even had to put out a statement about it.
So real quick, I just wanted to pick your brains. The base game is just $64.95, right?
Yes, but to get it's like the base game, and then you have the deluxe edition, which is one that I bought, which is like $80, and that one comes with the entire season 1 pass of characters. So right, you're Akuma, you're what is it? Aki?
Yeah.
Is it his name Aki?
Yeah.
Aki, Rashid, and Ed. Right, you get all 4 of those, and a couple colors as well. The colors aren't even released yet either, so we're not getting anything as well.
Doesn't the Ultimate Edition
those number? Wasn't it those number 10 colors for like DJ, Manon, Chun-Li, and Amy, and Ken?
Were those it? Okay, you might be correct on that one. But there's like more. There are more colors you're supposed to get as well. Okay. But you just
for the DLC characters. Yeah.
But yeah, so you're not gonna get those yet.
I think 2 stages too. I'm not sure.
We'll have to
those are gonna come later.
Yeah. Right now at this point, there's just like nothing, right? So it kind of rubbed people the wrong way.
I thought the Ultimate Edition comes with like you get those toys or whatever. But obviously they're gonna ship them out later to you probably. But I don't know.
No, it has to be the physical version.
Yeah, you have to get the physical one. The one on Steam is only $100.
Yep.
The Steam Ultimate Edition is $100. The other one with the steel case and the statues, that was about $250, I think it was. On at GameStop, was it $250?
I would hope you are overpricing that, because that's a lot. I love me some Street Fighter, but damn, $250, god damn, inflation's a bitch.
Sounds more normal.
$150 sounds about right. Yeah, I would pay $150.
I will say this: it's interesting because games like God of War, Horizon Dawn Zero. I probably said that all wrong.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Yep.
Yeah, those were all $70 to $80 games. Like
$350. God damn.
Ooh, it's $350. But yeah, those are like $70, $80 release games, as well as like Forspoken games like that. And most of those games were either partially complete or fully complete. And we're getting a fighting game that is cheaper but fully complete. I'm kind of curious if we're gonna start seeing that shift to more complete games. Okay, now it costs more. That's a big thing I'm kind of curious on, because it's a fighting game, right? But it's also an experience now.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that does change with the times there. I mean, like I said, Street Fighter is kind of nice. It's kind of a bit of a paradigm shift right now, so we'll see how that follows suit. But in the meantime, though, World Tour, I've had some experience with it. Haven't had a whole lot, to be honest. I have spent maybe like an hour or so on it. because I was just playing so many other ranked matches and casual matches. There's been a revitalization with a lot of people that we all know here, which is great. So definitely joining in on that grind. But the World Tour was great to start off. Not too different from what you got in where I was at in the beta anyway. I was getting some weird, like, I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if you guys had any of it, but I got some very fluctuating performance when it came to the World Tour, like in the open world. Like my GPU was getting pegged at 100, and I was like, what in the hell is going on here? How is this getting, like, it's like a it's not like a 40 series, but it's a 3070, or I think even a TI that, you know, will knock out what I need to. Even at 1080 1440, it's a good card for that. And I'm like, I was just seeing super performance issues starting up that pulled me away from playing World Tour initially, and I'd like kind of come back to it to see like what was up. I know there was like a day one patch, but I don't know, I haven't checked to see if those notes were for anything like stability wise or something like that.
That makes me think like I might want to just get the game for PS4 and or 5 just so that I can run it off of something that's not going to have those computer, so to speak, issues. And I don't know if PS4 or 5 has been having that, but I mean, I'd like to really enjoy the World Tour mode. I haven't touched it yet because I'm just like not too sure if I'm going to have fun myself in it, because I always am in like in rank. But at the same time, I do want to give it a shot just to sort of see what it's about, play a full game. But I don't know. Not now that I'm seeing people have some sort of issues, but then I see a lot of people playing it, and I'm like, man, that seems kind of repetitive, redundant to me. I don't know.
A lot of people that I talk to that play it on at least PC have said they've experienced a lot of unrefined resources being consumed when they're playing it. So I'm not surprised. It's their first time doing like this weird open world kind of isekai adventure type mode thing for people to play through. That's like a whole nother game. So I think it's just not optimized yet. That's something that we should be looking at. It's just unoptimized. A lot of people that I've at least come across that play it, they said they really love World Tour. There's some moments where it eats the GPU hard.
Yeah.
Especially, I think it's outside of cut. I think it was, some people said during cutscenes sometimes it's really harsh. Sometimes it's when you're running around and you're hitting people randomly and stuff like that. It'll just eat the GPU. But I don't know. I mean, that's something that can be worked on over time. I mean, it's still a new experience, right? So I'm not going to fault them. And I normally would fault Capcom for everything, right? But I think this is the first time I could say I will let it slide, considering, yes, I do think you should probably get the PS4 version or PS5 version if you want to play World Tour. PC, it seems to be where a heavy dose of resource management kind of sucks.
Yeah, even on a technical side, if you want to look at, say, input latency, technically PC is like the second best at this point from the charts that I've seen on Twitter. I think we're talking literally by just a couple of like maybe a millisecond or two behind, with the PS5 being, I believe, the number one. So, you know, if you want to get super technical about it, there's that. But, you know, there's still definitely more. There's definitely more things you can improve on the PC side. So, yeah, World Tour was kind of. It's just also there's so much content, man. It is a lot to go into between trying to like really grind out the game. So many new characters, so many new situations to learn, right? We're at that point where we got to discover all this. The Twitter feeds are crazy. SF6_ whatever your character is bookmarked on your Twitter if you have one, so you can always just check out what's going on. So it's kind of hard to kind of buckle down for me and just like play World Tour. I know, like I said, people are doing it just to get costumes, like the classic costumes, alternate costumes. They get those, and which is fine. That's a great enticing way of doing it. Or, you know, if you got the money, yeah, you want to open up the wallet, you don't want the time, you can give Capcom that.
I will say that some of the characters have story mode costumes, I guess.
Yes.
Particularly, I will say this 100%. Kimberly's like second costume is what her normal costume should be. This
her
Lucian guy bullshit was garbage. I'm sorry. Her design for the first one was absolutely atrocious. And then you put out that amazing skin. Nobody should. If I ever catch anybody on stream playing that shit, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm like, do you own the second one? Oh, you do? You're a trash human being. Switch your costume. You know what you're doing is wrong. Like,
Losing
I don't
on
know.
at the character select screen. Damn, that's strong.
Bro, if I wanted to play MVCI without the actual costumes, like Gamora's second costume, yeah, all right, I'll take that shot, all right? But if I want to play the game at the most optimum, yeah, I'm going to buy the DLC for Kimberly.
Wait,
If I play
you telling me you don't like my blue shoulder pads?
No, that shit's trash. She
Oh,
ain't no
man.
football player.
Her alt costume is pretty good though.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay.
I said it's
Go,
pretty
go
good.
ahead,
disagree.
go ahead, Static. Say it isn't.
Say what?
Say it's worse than her main costume. I dare you.
I mean, I haven't looked at it, but it was kind of boring looking. I do like her main costume.
said it was boring?
I like the ninja. I like the shout outs to Sodom on the shoulder pads, which is also just, final fight type deal going on. I like the pants, even, I mean, the pattern on the pants and the hips and the sway. I mean, that's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, you clearly
But,
need to look at the second costume. Then you're missing out
I
on
like
the second costume.
I like the dreads. The dreads are a nice touch, especially with her super. I mean,
I like,
better
in the second
I
costume.
like,
right?
I like the braids more
Yes.
on the second costume. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool.
100%. They're way better.
I
But-
don't know. Maybe it's because I'm maining her. I'm a little biased.
Yeah, aesthetics aside, bias aside, World Tour is like just a flood of content. I can't wait to see what more they're gonna release to it. I have an inkling that they're going to add like special events that go on with it. It'll be really cool.
I did see the custom characters used outside of World Tour in like training room.
I haven't
They
seen
seem to,
that
like-
yet. I haven't
So-
seen it yet.
I saw like a level 52 person playing against another level 52 or testing some stuff out. The damage is kind of like low. I think they can go up to level 70 and then it caps. But I mean, dude, I saw like fireball teleport in sim teleport into like SPD, but it didn't do a lot of damage. So I'm wondering if the scaling is based off of like certain
How many
stats.
moves you have? Yeah, because it'd be so
Yeah.
fucking broken otherwise. Yeah, I've seen some of those like concept combo videos out there, like some of the cursed ones that I'm just like, I had to double take and be like, wait, what? That was that movie. That was this movie. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm so confused and scared at the same time. But yeah, with World Tour, that's something we're gonna all, like I said, dive into even more as we continue, as we kind of put more time into the game. But I mean, in terms of the landscape, right? Like we got some demon characters out there. We've got like your JPs, your Manons, Marissas, like some of the new ones, right? Most of the new ones. This is gonna be just like an interesting time. Like if you checked out like DreamHack, right? They had like a big tournament that went down. DreamHack Dallas went down over the weekend as well, over throughout like the end of the week into the weekend, and they had a Street Fighter 6 tournament. Shout out to the homie Saken who made top 16 with JP. He's actually an incredible gamer in general, but I know he's a Guilty Gear player, May player. Excuse me, not May. Sorry, I don't want to disrespect you, homie. A Jam player. And he ran shop with JP over at DreamHack. Shout out to you, homie. But nice. We got to see a great variety of things.
You said he's a Jam player?
He's a Jam player.
Is that what JP stood for?
Yeah, right. Maybe.
Damn.
Maybe.
Right.
It actually could be.
Moving on.
Nice, good connection there. But yeah, so it's a great time. The game is so much fun. It's there've been tweaks too, right? We did state this a while ago. Like I know you said beta crack users are going to be insane coming in, like maybe some to a degree, maybe they're at like a 60 to 80%, but there have been changes to some of the base rosters that we knew were like, listen, even if you get good at this beta, it doesn't mean that this character is going to do what they did here in the main game once it actually gets released. And that has already been confirmed, right? Kimberly being one of the characters that got hit, right? She no longer has an invincible EX reversal, right, to get out of dodge. Chun-Li, I think, also got hit a bit as well. There was a couple others like Ken as well. I think he got like a slight buff. There's a bunch of different small changes here and there, but then we had the rest of the roster that came up. So even though 8 of these characters were in that beta, the game still feels fresh as hell with the full roster finally available to us. And the amount of people that, like I said, have jumped in, it's fighting game week, right? We had Yipes with freaking T-Pain doing a stream together, which is awesome. There's going to be a Twitch team battle between several different content creators and influencers, like your Maxes and your Brian F's. I think who was the other one?
Team captain for a team anime.
Diaphone. Then there's like old school Third Strike cats with like Automatic and like Mono's on there and a couple other players, which is awesome. So it's going to be really cool to see that, just to see the character variety, see how the competition is going to lead, because the tech is just, like I said, I'm constantly checking my feed right now. If I even look at like my follower, who I follow, okay, yeah, it's like 90% is Street Fighter 6. And then if you actually look into the actual Twitch itself and see the players that are actually streaming, you got cats like FPS Shaka, more known for playing, shocker in his name, right? FPS, like Apex Legends is kind of the go-to game that he plays. Now he's in Street Fighter 6 mode right now. We've got Moon, right? Another big, incredibly large Twitch streamer that's playing it. Moon has had, talks about fighting games, and it took for this one to come out. And then plenty others that have come out of the woodwork, right? You got Filipino man, you got F Champ, crawling out of whatever hole F Champ is living in right now, is streaming the game. And what was the last one I was gonna? Oh yeah, like I said, you got cross like game influencers, right? You got CarQ, most notably of Overwatch and such, now jumping in and playing. I mean, shit, Chipotle's said Moon earlier. So I mean, also Chipotle, shelling out for that sponsorship and those bounties and such. People are gonna be on that. There's everybody's eating right now, right? Everybody's eating some food right now. But the game at the end of the day is fun. I don't know how many people are still complaining about DI right now, because now we've moved from complaining from DI to complaining about characters, which I'm like, oh, we're full circle again. We're back to it. Yeah, we're back to it.
But you know what I noticed? That
What's up?
It only takes a day for certain parts of tech to actually get figured out. For instance,
so
the headbutt is already being like punished and
nullified,
carried. Yeah, nullified. Like instant. I just went into practice mode. I was like, wait a minute, is this like Street Fighter 4? Can I jab it? Sure enough, I back fierced it with Chun.
Show enough.
Here.
You know who's not getting tech blown up still enough is JP.
Manon?
JP.
JP kinda is. There was already that.
Go watch Sako, because you think you're gonna blow that up. Good luck.
Well, first of all, it's Sako. You can't playing the player versus playing the character. Two very different things, right?
My man's just zoning. That's it. He's just zoning.
JP is basically an MK character. I'm just putting it out there. So I don't feel terrible. I've dealt with that shit. I've dealt with the injustices and such, bro. Like I'm not sweating it too much, to be honest. But there's just massive tech. Like I said, the Twitter feeds, the blowups are great. The YouTube videos that are just constantly coming out. I mean, like I said, all these influencers, content creators are just like, oh, there's a gold mine right now, and it is. It's a great fucking time to be involved in anything creative if you're trying to build out any kind of content, if you're doing videos or a podcast or anything like that. It's a great time. It's a great time for sure. But Street Fighter 6 has just been like, it's a great release, done incredible numbers already. I think at this point on Steam, it's looking good. 1 million units are sold. People are streaming it. We're only now getting into more of the exhibitions to get started, and the tournaments are going to start rallying up, right? CEO is going to be at the end of the month. That's going to be a banger. So the game is I think started off on the right foot. I think all that marketing that they did has paid off. But also on top of that, the game, like I said, is just fun. Like I have yet to really sit down, and yes, I know it's still early, but regardless, even with playing all of the beta, I have yet to still feel like the game, I've already plateaued on a level of the game. Like we all suck right now. It is what it is. Some people suck less, some people suck more. But regardless, the game is still fun at whichever of those levels right now. And I think it's going to be like that for quite some time, just because the sheer flexibility, the expression you get in the game, and just a variety of characters is it's an incredible experience so far.
Dare I say, we're at like basic math level, and then there's like gonna be like the equations, the level of equations, or the calculus.
We're gonna get the algebra, the calculus, the trig.
What I mean, like you're getting into this is the nitty gritty beginner mode, where it's like 2 + 4. Then we're getting to algebra. Then we get to calc. And I only say that because we're not at the formula where we're like, we have to do this now in this situation. Like this is most optimal. Once we get to most optimal, that will be when like people will be trading. People are already doing this, but like they're trading certain buttons into more frame advantage buttons. Like people have already done that in 5. I've seen a Kimberly do a video where they're like, yeah, I just fierce Hadoken like point blank, and then I combo into another fierce because it trades with the Ryu, and I'm just like, that level stuff was like frame trap level stuff where they were like, I know I can get hit by a button here and I can combo because of the hit stun, and I'm just like, oh, people are gonna just destroy this game already.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly fast. Ever since Force,
because that's just that level.
Of, yeah. I had to explain this. I know I was in a Discord with like at least a dozen other people, and this was more of a casual Discord, and it was friends and family. And I remember I was just like, oh, I'll come by to say what's up, and I'll play some online matches, let them see like how it is to play. I know it's gonna sound weird, like at that level or something. It's like, but play at a more like a little more hardcore level. Yeah. And I was in training mode, waiting on things, and I remember like people were like, "Yo, what the hell is that thing at the bottom of your screen?" I'm like, "What? Oh, you mean the frame bar?" And I had to explain to them, and they were all playing Street Fighter 6, and I had to explain to them all as to what that was with frames and counting and the math and everything. I was like, "Holy shit, this has definitely reached out," because you know, I think the most these cats have been exposed to is something like Smash, and they're like, "Oh no, we're good with this," and then Street Fighter 6 just Capcom convinced them to purchase and take the plunge, and a lot of them did, right. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to show my brothers like just like simple stuff. Be like, oh yeah, you know, damage, Manon, grab. Yeah, they'll be like, that's cheap, man. Like
something profit.
But anyway, I dig.
Yeah, so it's right now. It's a great time to be playing. Jump in, no matter what the game you're from. This was right now uniting like a lot of people. Your guilties, your KOF cats, your MK heads, your OG Street Fighter, your new G Street Fighter. Like everybody's jumping into the game right now because either it's fun, maybe they're just making a shift on their own path to competing in this, which is a great thing to do. This is gonna sound so cheesy. It's gonna sound so fucking cheesy. But one of the biggest things I took away from Daigo's book that he wrote was, if you were to compete like in fighting games, like pick a game that has a lot of competitors. Like, you want the game that has a lot of competitors, not because like, oh, popular, this, that, and the other. It's because it gives you the most opportunity to play the most amount of people for you to grow in. So I was like, you know, for a lot of people, that's a route that they can look. Because yes, there are niche games, you know, like your KOFs are not as big as your Street Fighters, or your MKs are different from your Guilties, right? Or your Tekkens and such, mainstream and your side games or whatever. 6 just like ignores all of that. I don't know what the formula was. I don't know if it was going back to their old G formula, the presentation, or like I said, the marketing. Everybody's just fucking with it, and it's awesome. It's a great fucking thing, and I'm stoked for it because that's just gonna allow for new talent, or talent that it just has never had an opportunity to grow because of, you know, scenes. Sometimes they plateau, which is fine. You know, if you love playing the game, you play the game, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong about it. But the game, man, really just, the tech I'm getting it from the people that I've seen, I'm like, what? Don't you play this game or this, that, and the other? I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is amazing. And they turn out to be like, you know, what do we say, right? Fighting games, fundamentals, those are universal. You're good at it in one game, you can be just as good in another game. It might take a little bit of shifting because the systems are different, the way the game plays, the speed, this, that, those little variables are there, but fundamentals are fundamentals. You're gonna rock out regardless. If you got good footsies, if you have great reactions, if you got great hit confirms, if you can frame trap, if you can play a certain kind of way, like when it comes to certain character archetypes, that translates, man. That translates, and it goes across the board. So the game, like I said, everybody's just fucking with it. It's awesome. Those lobbies are being packed. I haven't had really any network issues. I know you and me and Static, we kind of had like a weird run-in just the other night, but that I don't think was related to, honestly, the network. I think that was just a local machine thing, because once I restarted, it was perfectly fine. But yeah, I think their stress test worked out. I don't think anyone else here has had. Have you guys? Oh, before we close it out, I want to know: have you guys had any of the mythical modern control beasts like to fight yet?
I fought one Manon who was on modern control, and that was the scariest thing ever because combos just work.
Yeah.
I was just getting tossed and RKO'd.
You're just like, what? So I've had.
Oh, I was gonna say before Meza goes on. By the way, tutorials are really good if you're casuals just getting to learn. They are informative. But go on.
Yes, for sure. What about you, Mez? Have you come across the mythical modern mythos?
Funny enough, for my short stint of playing online, no, I have not. But I've actually watched my roommate come across quite a few in the beginning, and because like he obviously was playing in a lower league for a different character, and he was like, I'm just gonna maul these people, and it kind of does work. It's kind of messed up, but I'm sure in due time they will get very comfortable with modern controls, because it is weird. It is a very unique thing. So I think once you get in, I think it's cool that they're using World Tour to do that as well. So once people get more used to that and fighting in the concept of Street Fighter 2D fighting plane a little bit more, I think we'll start seeing some more modern, like, unique players come out of the woodworks. Like, we're gonna get an Akuma, type of player.
Fuck that, man. The first one I came across was a Zangief. I was like, holy shit! I am about to get like scooped, and it's not gonna make any sense.
But it's not gonna do any damage. And 20% reduction,
bro. Fuck that. I don't care if it's 20% reduction. That shit hurt. When it's like two of those, I was like, this is just as bad. Like I was hurting. I've had a modern Geef, modern Jury, modern Manon. All of them were like nightmares. I was like, how are you folks? Like, man, you are DIing me, and you're like, the parries are so well done. But once you kind of like learn the pattern, is the weird thing about it is once you learn the pattern as to how the game wants them to react, it's no longer a big deal. But ones like Geef are scary because they'll just be standing and all of a sudden, hit you with the bear hug, and I'm like, bro, that made no sense.
I do wonder though if the more higher executional characters such as like Cammy and Chun-Li, if doing combos for those characters, because they're already difficult for most, I wonder if modern controllers just can eliminate that and make it very consistent, right? Because that's what we were talking about before, was consistency with modern controllers. I think if that is a big thing, then we might see some people play in tournament on Classic with, like, let's say Ryu, and then they go, you know what, this matchup is not good for me, but I don't want to work extra 10 times hard to drop a combo with a character like Cammy. I'm going to play on modern controllers, and I'm going to be able to play this matchup really, really well because I'm on modern controllers and consistent.
Yeah, that is very true. We might just see that happening. I'm currently scouting out, seeing the online local Street Fighter 6 tournaments, trying to see if anyone might pop up here on modern controllers. Not as of yet, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. I can't wait. It's been week -1 right now. It's gonna be insane. The tech that we are already seeing, the feed is blowing up, and it's gonna be a great time. And I can't wait to spend a couple years here until, I don't know, if Akuma's broken, then I might just be like, yeah, yo, it's been fun. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go back to Guilty.
Hey, quick thing, by the way. Capcom USA said tune in on June 12th, 3 p.m. Pacific. Capcom Showcase digital event featuring roughly 36 minutes of news updates on our latest game. Just dropped about 17 minutes ago.
Ooh,
that's
okay.
June 12th, so next Monday. Hey,
next Monday. So we might get, because we're supposed to be getting our first character this summer for the game, which I believe is Rashid. Rashid will be in first. It'll be before EVO, all that. So we are probably gonna see some sort of trailer. We're probably gonna get some gameplay, which is awesome. So they need to just start turning out the content and, seeing how the whole reactions to Street Fighter 6 have gone and make it apparent. They're definitely gonna be flexing like, oh yeah, 1 million units sold, yo. Like, in case you didn't know,
it's okay.
Like, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't see you there. Our money machine is just throwing out all these bills.
And NRS is smart because they're like, it's okay. All of our players are gonna play a Capcom game, and then they're gonna be upset because it's not an NRS game. Then as soon as they get out of the Capcom game, they're like, this is BS. Guess what? MK comes out, and now they're back into their game. Yo, this is so smart.
Yeah. And then you still got Tekken to look after, and then you got a couple other games as well to tweak out. It's we eating good, man. We are eating good. But what we're gonna be eating next is this ad break, because we got a couple other things to get into before we close out this show. But you guys stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. All right, and we're back. Street Fighter 6 has been released. We are in the midst of it all. But that's not the only news that has come out over the past week that we're going to be checking out. Like I said, it has been overshadowed quite a bit, but we're still going to cover it here. Off the rip, though, let's go into a little bit more of not the best news you want to hear, especially if you're a Sam Show head. I know SNK has been, knee deep in KOF, right? Doing incredible work with KOF, with the DLC that they've been dropping, the balancing. They're just continuously supporting that game. But we can't forget about the redheaded stepchild. Of course, we're talking about Sam Show and the infamous netcode update that we have been waiting, clamoring for since initially in back in February that we were supposed to get. Since then has been put off, which was supposed to be for the 2023, and now they're pushing the update even further back now to late summer 2023. So unfortunately they're still hammering out the kinks when it comes to this netcode implementation, which I'm just like, I'm really wondering like what is the holdup on that? I mean, okay, I don't want to say like, oh, what's the fucking holdup? Can you guys not fucking type, nerds? Definitely a lot of work goes into it. There's a lot of systems. They are trying to cross-platform with freaking everything, and well, whatever systems allow you to cross-platform to. But they are planning to conduct a beta test, a community beta test on Steam specifically. So my console heads, you're just gonna have to hold that on June 2023. So this month at some point, they'll be sharing some details as soon as possible. Like they reassured here, the Code Mythics are fully committed to delivering a more seamless and online battle experience, and we truly appreciate you understanding the patience through this process. So Sam Show heads, Samurai Showdown is not dead. They are not dead. Not like Darkstalkers. There's still something going on.
Real talk, why do they keep updating this game?
You know what? Well, no, it's Sam Show, bro.
No, wait.
Sam Show was great.
Let's be real. It is one of the most kind of like one of those unique titles that I think it does well as it gets older. It's not old enough, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of work being put into it, and I get it. Look, KOF is always going to be like the primary thing, but if we're being realistic, if you look at something like Samurai Showdown in general, where's the audience? Like, where have they been this whole time?
They've been here waiting patiently for this fucking update.
The 4 players that still play on Steam right now?
Yeah, fuck it. It'll go up to like, I don't know, 8 by the time this netcode comes out. Actually, I think I'm going to check the Steam grids for this.
I just think it's a little weird that they keep investing so much into Samurai Showdown. I mean, they've done a great amount of crossovers and whatnot. Maybe a Samurai Showdown 2, a next version
remix
would be nice. Yeah, sure. Like I think it's just time to maybe either start working on a second game and stop really hardcore pushing this game, because it's pretty down in the dumps.
Okay, I don't know how Meza literally got it right. There's literally 4 people playing right now on Steam. Yeah, okay, a little rough, but hey, you know what? The good netcode is going to help. This game that still has just a great rating overall. It is very much positively, accepted. It's just, yeah, bro, this netcode shit, it needs to get fixed quickly. Like, if you're gonna look at take Guilty Gear for an example, like they need to get on that shit. People were rocking Guilty Gear like crazy, way more than some Sam Show. As much as you have biking in there, it's not a Guilty Gear game, and they're peeved off about the netcode taking as long as it has.
I just think that it's kind of rough because you have a game like KOF that is getting better with the netcode over time, and this game kind of got shafted because it was like, this was supposed to be the netcode game for KOF to follow behind, and it's like reverse, almost to the point where Samurai Showdown players would probably be more pissed. But I mean, look, you get it. There's nothing negative about getting more rollback. It just means they're improving what they need to work on for the future, right? So then we get these perfect games, kind of like how Capcom's slowly getting there, where they're slowly kicking it out,
or at least doing it right from the beginning to kind of have a good footing in the door. But they're not the only ones that are trying to make a perfect game. Let's actually go back, and we're not talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ here when it comes to Arc Sys. Let's talk about side games, Arc Sys, and of course Grand Blue. Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I was like, what the hell is the end of it? What's the R again? GBVS R. Hashtag. So we did get an update from them as well in terms of the netcode, or rather the beta, excuse me, not the netcode, because they're doing an entire overhaul in the game for this new version that you have to shell out another payment for. Kind of going the route you said, Mezzo, right? Like you're thinking maybe Sam Show should do the same and kind of rethink the ink and kind of, you know, shift the game into a new version and put in a lot of work to do that, to kind of overhaul the entire system and potentially get a resurgence, right? Grand Blue has been on that microscope for quite some time now. Right now, we're looking at an online beta release. The previously delayed Grand Blue Fantasy Versus online beta is now coming mid-July. They posted this up on GBVS_official. Concrete dates will be announced after the beta concludes for the actual game itself, so that we're still just waiting on the mid-July. But alongside this, they have also, you know, been kind of dropping content where possible for the new characters that are coming through, kind of little sneak peeks into some of the new mechanics, or rather not even just sneak peeks, just overall they have like broken down what the new mechanics are going to be, universal and such. But we did get another trailer for another character that has just been dropped, and that is of course Siegfried. Don't get it confused with the Siegfried from Soul Calibur, but I could see why, because the brother kind of has a lot of, it seems like he took a lot of cues from old Siegfried there, aka Nightmare, aka I don't know, for some reason I look like Fabio on one side, but then just like, you know,
so wait. I think that's actually him though. Like if we're being realistic, he has a lot of the same moves.
It looks I was thinking a lot when I was watching. I was like, bro, like this is, I had to double check just to see if this was like a collaboration, it's not.
That's the drill. I know it's weird, right? It's like the charge up too. That's what you know. And he has a dark side, light side like dichotomy to the character too. Like he has a whole like a beast mode of his own, and he's like some sort of like fallen hero. It's very, like I said, very similar. And I was like, this is like, yo, hey man, can I get your homework? Yeah, dog, you can take it. Just make sure to change it, right? So the teacher don't know you copied it, right? that's what we got. let me change it from blonde to brown hair. Bro, that's a stance. That's a stance. And he's literally Siegfried. This is I actually might play this character.
He looks fun. He looks like a lot of fun.
I'm not playing that character though. No,
she looks a lot of fun too. But yeah, so we got to see, you know, like I said, some of the new mechanics as well being explored on the new character. We have seen them we have seen those same mechanics in previous trailers. But yeah, look at that, man. Like we got the whole, it's kind of ridiculous. But he looks really cool, man. I was actually really stoked to see the trailer, to see some content coming out for it. They are, of course, going to be releasing this later on in 2023, and we did get a little bit of the tease. Next character will be revealed in early July, so make way for some more info there. Probably, if it's going to be early July, that means we'll probably get maybe the dates for the beta on that following trailer as well.
I'm going to say something really messed up right now, but it's true. Yo, right? Like, Grand Blue has gotten more updates than DNF Duel has in the past 2 months, bro. This is crazy. Like,
that's kind of true.
I don't know. I feel so bad that this is really a thing. Like, Grand Blue deserves it. Don't get me wrong. But damn, man, when you're
they got done dirty
on the block and you're getting cucked by the old kid on the block that got beat by something that they were not even like, they had no control over. It wasn't even
bullied.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they got bullied from the skies. The TNF Duel getting bullied right in front of their face, man. School playground.
You did this to yourself.
Did you notice his finisher with like the whole sort of like remind me of Bardock and Budokai games, where he sees all his Saiyans.
His friends and such. And there's a lot of history here with all the other cool characters. Your Lancelots, your what was your dude? Your Percivals, and I don't know who the fourth guy was because he had like an axe. I couldn't recognize them, and I don't think there's any axe wielding character outside of Vasaraga. Thank you. But yeah, he looks like a really cool character. I like the scheme. I like the sword play. Got some reach. A character's got a long weapon like that. It's usually a good poking tool historically. But yeah, so we got the new gameplay of it. We got, like I said, the little tidbits on some more of the new mechanics, and this guy just looks like a freaking powerhouse, man. Like that sword is swung with justice. You know, he's giving you the old Ike, like I fight for my friends kind of deal is what I'm getting vibes here. I don't know what it is about dudes with big swords have to fight for the homies, but I guess they're about it. But yeah, so it looks good. We're gonna be getting once again a new character trailer announcement early July, excuse me. So we will more than likely, like I said, get the beta dates from said trailer. So Grand Blue, man, like, you know what's funny? Grand Blue has been shit on, and unfortunately, like, you know, people, various different reasons. People are like, oh, the timing, right? The quarantine and
never reducing the price.
Never reducing the price. Quarantine.
Never working on that online.
The online, the system mechanics. You know, it took a chance, right? Like, yeah, it took a chance with like the system itself and try something new. And just like it didn't pan out right. And instead of just shelving it, and they're just like, hold on, let's just, you know, rewind it a little bit and let's just make the game as best as we can. If it would have came out and released, if we had a little bit more time, more characters, more content, more system mechanics, so it doesn't seem as you know, rigid as it felt, you know, for players, especially early on. And it could very much see a really good resurgence coming back, because you know why? Because I'm interested in playing again.
I'll hit you with this because I have been playing a lot lately. Prior to this, I feel that they did the one thing that most games don't survive doing, which was they spent 2 years releasing characters, building up for something new, and before the Rising was even announced, they were like, we're overhauling the game a little bit, just a little bit, so that you guys can have something new.
Yeah. And
then I guess you could say technically, 2023, they're working on this brand new version of it. I feel like games like DNF Duel are trying to do that too fast, and now you're seeing this collateral effect where it's like, there's no characters. Okay, well, we're building into this, we're patching this. There's none of this. But Grand Blue did it right. They're like, well, here's characters. Let's keep you interested. All right, you like these characters? All right, keep playing it. But we also remember they had a fleshed out game mode.
Yeah, that is also very true.
Just like how Capcom did, just like how Mortal Kombat did, Interested, and you had all these other modes to play. So it kept people entertained. And I think that's a big thing right now, where we're seeing if you have something to entertain the base players, on average, even normal casuals, yeah, you're gonna retain some of your audience.
So when you come back, you're gonna come back potentially even stronger. So we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. But like I said, I'm interested. I like what I'm seeing in the overall system changes. The mechanics they're going to add to it. The characters look interesting. The stories that they're going to add to it. It all looks like it's going to be worth. I hope it's worth the $60 you have to shell out again, because I can't see any reason why anyone wants to play the vanilla version outside of, you know, fun little side tournaments, exhibitions. I don't know, maybe it's a mystery game. You know, those little fun things. Like, you know, if you're a competitor and such, you're never going back to that original version. So
keep in mind, anybody at Evo, there's no Grand Blue versus, but there will be Grand Blue versus Rising, and that's strictly going to be a side tournament for that game. So if you want to experience the game for the first time, because hopefully there's going to be a beta before that, but if there is none, there's your free beta.
There should be, there should be one in, like I said, mid-July. Because Evo's in August. So So we might even see an extended one, or maybe a potential new build, or even the retail version of it at Evo as they gear up towards.
Supposedly they're going for the newest build that they'll have.
Okay, all right. So we'll just have to wait and see.
That's their goal.
We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys. So Grand Blue's getting overhauled. Unfortunately, Sam's show's been put on the delay bracket for a little bit. But Street Fighter 6 is here to hold us down. A lot of new characters to play. A lot of situations to deal with, a lot of headbutts to perfect parry, a lot of JP projectiles to dodge. Am I forgetting anything? Maybe a lot
command grabs to jump over.
Full screen command grabs to jump over, and also just mid-screen command grabs that don't make any goddamn sense, somehow still grabbing you when there's clearly two characters away from you from Zangief. No, I'm not talking from personal experience. Shut up. Leave me alone. But
for good Dalsims.
oh, God, I played one Dawson. Man, that slowed my game down to a freaking crawl. But you know, I ended up. It was weird because he kept teleporting, but Cammy luckily has an incredible walk speed, so I would just always like walk behind him, and he would like try to fierce down and just whiff on me, and I would just punch him. I'm like, stop it. And guess what? Guess what, guys? He didn't stop. He didn't stop. That shit was free points. Just how I like it. Just like how I like this segue for us ending the show.
Hey.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us for another episode of Double Tap. Street Fighter 6 is here. It's on. We're going to be following it closely, of course, as well as all the other games in our awesome community here. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to give us a follow at Double Tap FGC, of course, on Twitter. Hit us up there. Tell us what you'd like about the game. Tell us who your mains are. Who have you actually decided picking? Maybe you were going for a Cammy, ended up with Manon. Maybe you ended up liking Marissa's insane armor mid-range. Or maybe you're just a degenerate like plenty of my other friends that are playing JP and all that. Let us know. Hit us up once again. Double Tap FGC on Twitter. You guys can check out, of course, our YouTube as well. We post up different cuts of the live show that gets streamed here on twitch.tv/mash those buttons. We tend to highlight there, and of course the content we are going to be pumping out on that channel real soon. So make sure to go subscribe over there in the meantime. Yeah, you guys can also follow my awesome host here. We got Static Gorilla, of course, at Static Gorilla on all social media platforms. It's where he's streaming. You can get his matches, of course, at Static Gorilla on Twitch, whether it's TNS for Fridays or he's gonna be at the lab on Thursdays, dumplings on Tuesdays,
tomorrow.
Your mama's house on Wednesday. Who knows?
Wednesdays now.
Oh, Wednesdays. Okay.
We're officially Wednesdays now because Lab's doing Tuesdays until otherwise.
Oh,
That's what I
Tuesdays
meant.
and
Lab
Thursdays.
Tuesday. Lab Tuesday, dumpling Wednesday.
okay.
There's
Yeah,
a
you'll
lot
see
of
him
driving.
You'll see him out in the grind, but of course you can also follow Meza at Meza FGC as well. Whenever he decides to want to load up the game and actually play, he'll actually be on live, but he's live over at kick.com/Meza FGC. Of course, we'll still follow him on Twitter. Check out all his announcements, anything he gets coming up, any streams, all that good stuff. Go follow him there. Of course, you can follow me at #VS on Twitter. Come hit me up. I'm usually behind the Double Tap Twitter as well, so you can also hit us up there. But if you guys want to get involved, maybe want to get some sets, maybe want to play some homies, first of all, go check out some of the awesome subreddits that are out there like RFGC and such. But you can also join us on our Discord at mash.gg/Discord. Come join the community out there, talking performance, talking Steam Deck performance on the game, taking it on the go, getting the smallest arcade setup you can as you're running around the country. Maybe if you're going to CEO later in the month, you best believe I'm gonna have a pocket Street Fighter 6 with me so I can play whenever I'm at the airport when we're traveling static. I know you and me are going. Mez,
Have you tested that yet?
I think jury's out on you when that you're going to show. I haven't tested it out yet. That's actually something I'm going to do this week. I was too hung up and actually playing the game to really give a damn about playing it anywhere else because I was not moving from this chair. But regardless, once again, guys, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Any support, like I said, any comment, feedback on your favorite podcast platform of choice. If it has a comment section, has a rating, we'd love to hear from you guys. 5-star, 1-star, 3-star, no star. Let us know what we're doing right. If you like the show and what we're doing wrong, so you guys can, we can come back and actually, lab the match up as much as we can. Just like a level 5 Manon, setup. We kind of want to learn how to dodge that. Just get away from me, you crazy fashion jitsu. What's the art? What judo ass character. Thank you, judo jutsu, all that good stuff. That's gonna be it for this week, guys. We appreciate it. All love. Once again, stay tuned after the show to hear about all the other shows here on the MTV network. We'll be live next week, Monday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for more fighting game coverage. But until then, we'll see you guys online. If you see us on there on CFN, hit us up. We'll be there. Mash some buttons. Catch y'all. Late.
Peace.
Peace.